Yo, it's the Claymore Minotaur JJ returning with another GTA video. They've just released a new car today when this video was made, the Hijak Ruston. I think it's supposed to be an electric car made by the Hijak company in game. I think it's supposed to be based on the Vuhl, V-U-H-L, I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced, 05. A very interesting design for a vehicle. Completely missing the top. Like, if you really wanted to, you could put some bad boy curves on the top of that, but they are not required. And even just with that subtle walk around, you saw me go for the blue option there, it just by default has a very interesting design. Now when I flung it around a few corners, it seemed kind of twitchy. There was a bunch of understeer when I was coming in at pace, and I also encountered the opposite in that there was a little bit too much oversteer and spinning out when I really tried to thrash it around. You might even get a small, there we go, there's an example, small demonstration of that between the drive from my apartment to Los Santos Customs. You see it there, very twitchy. And I think even though these cars in GTA are supposed to rotate from the very center as opposed to from the front where the actual steering is taking place, it's very twitchy. Very twitchy. I suppose it's one of those vehicles where if you're going to thrash it around the place, it takes some getting used to. At the same time, if you're going to have a race full of these bad boys, I think you're bound to have a technical race. Anyway, we've taken it into Los Santos Customs and we're just having a look at some of the front ends, the front bumpers. Some very interesting designs, again it must be said, but the design of the initial vehicle is quite interesting. So I didn't really feel a need to edit the car much as a whole, to be completely honest. But you will see the rest of this. Even if you notice the rims, we'll get there eventually later in the video, but if you notice the rims, they're kind of a variation on one of the rims. I think there might even be a couple of them that look like this, a carbon version and the standard version. The only difference is they've got that colored spot in the center. I went with the slightly dipped front end there, and I must admit the roll cage kind of changes the game with this vehicle, because initially, as I said, you put some bad boy curves over the top of that for a roof and you've got kind of a nice looking car. However, it seems as if when you apply the roll cage, it becomes more of a buggy looking vehicle. Now when it comes to these side skirts, I think the vented side skirt was the most interesting design there, so I went with that. The splitters at the front, you have your standard kind of looking ones, your almost dinner plate looking ones. Then there were some angular ones, quite interesting. And this car by default has a spoiler applied. I was pleasantly surprised by that, it must be said, because it looked pretty good. Just as I've said a bunch of times now, the initial design of the vehicle is a pretty cool one. When looking through the tires now, I didn't even go over it and see if I could match something up with them, because I was like, do you know what? These look pretty cool as is, and I won't bore you with looking through the same vehicle rims for the millionth time, because I've done a few of these videos now. I don't want to show you all of those again. But this time I think I was looking at the paint jobs, and I don't think I mixed it up too much from what I remember. Kept it relatively simple. Pretty much all one colour. Have the split of black. Keep it simple. Probably be carbon otherwise, but it's the same thing, but more expensive. GTA dollar for no reason. So I just kept it pretty straightforward. Went for one of the cheapest versions of black that was available. Then for the actual main color, the primary color, spoilers, that's the one I went for. But this vehicle does look pretty good in a range of colors. Again, it's just that design. The design of this vehicle is enough to carry it alone. Disregard the handling, but it's a very interesting vehicle to look at just because it looks like it's been cut up because it lacks that roof. But yeah, just experimenting with some of the colors. They all look pretty good, and I think there's subtly a pearlescent tone added that I didn't have to pay for with that GTA dollar. And you know me already, budget gaming, I'm back in that. That's how the Claymore Minotaur does. Yeah, just flicking through them, even just the standard colors are exemplary on this vehicle. So if you're watching this and you're wondering what level of color you should get for your vehicle, just have a look and you'll see. And that's pretty much it right there. I did drop the spoilers earlier, just so you know. Anyway, we're coming to pretty much the end of this video now, and that's the final design of the vehicle. No performance mods. So basically you just need to check out that description box, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and until the next time, people, take it easy.